You're welcome to the Moon. You're welcome to the Moon Day Mystic Weekly podcast. This Moon Day and every Moon Day, get prepared energetically for the week with Jabri Ali, Hood Mystic, Sacred Serpent, and AD. Always remember, you're welcome.
Peace to the tribe, peace to the collective. First things first, we got our poll question of the week. If you are on YouTube and you are watching this live, which energy are you feeling most this week? So we can speak to that: purification, discipline, reflection, or rebirth. That's the poll of the week. Greetings, everyone. This is the Initiates. This is Moon Day Mystic. From us all the way to Zamunda. Peace to the tribe, peace to the collective, man. It's Hood Mystic here with two familiar faces. I'm gonna have them introduce themselves, though. Uh, Fellas, get into it. Who are you? What you stand for?
Sacred Serpent, Sacred Dark Serpent. Uh, Initiates for the Flame.org. Yes, that is the new site. We are coming up to you guys with some new heat. But yeah, we wanted to start this off real righteously. We missed you guys last week. However, the energy is real powerful right now. It's really one of those things that I think Moon Day is perfect for us to discuss. And yeah, again, happy for this time, happy for this space. But again, initiatives for the flame.org. Jump on it.
What's up? It's Breeze, your non-favorite or your non-friendly alchemist, neighborhood alchemist. I'm not good at introductions, but author of Moon Day, a lover of learning and a lover of integrating darker aspects of self, and really interested in uncovering like the purpose of existence. Um, and yeah, happy Moon Day. And let's get into it.
Yes, sir. Happy Moon Day. Speaking of Moon Day, let's talk about that. A practical approach to astrology. I mean, you may not be good at introductions, but you are good at explaining what Moon Day is. And we'll get into the full build of like how we could apply it throughout this conversation, but just kind of set the table on what Moon Day is and how people can utilize it.
Yeah, Moon Day, a practical approach to astrology, is a workbook I created just based on making astrology very simple. And the most important part of it is to use yourself as a reference for understanding astrology. So that's beginning to understand your natal chart instead of studying astrology and then trying to understand your energy. You're studying your energy and understanding your energy in reference to astrology. So it's like you can become your own astrologer with this. It's a cumulative approach to Kabbalah, Tarot, astrology, and divination work.
For
And what we're
sure.
going to go over is the moon tracker chart, which is available in the book. And there is a 33-minute video. The link is in the book. Once you purchase the book, you will have a access to it, and it's going to walk you through on how to fill this chart out.
Appreciate you for that, man. And of course, a couple of things. You could get the bundle with the Thoth Tarot deck to help you get further into your study. But also, we got another bundle on there: the Path, the Spell, and the Moon. Get you well acclimated. But please visit initiates for the flame.org. We are organization. And of course, join the Discord, join the Discord, join the Discord. That's where all the real conversation is at. And one more thing, man, if y'all have any questions in the chat, any readings, anything like that, feel free to spam the chat so we could, answer y'all questions, make this podcast as interactive, intuitive, and engaging as possible. Because, sometimes the subject matter does get dense. And speaking of dense subject matter, this is the chart for the day. If either of y'all have studied the chart today, what have been your most, I guess, expressive or resonating transit or placement of the chart for the day or the chart for the week?
Yeah, so I would start with the moon. The moon being in the first deacon of Virgo, and that card is the Eight of Pentacles. And in Thotero deck, that is prudence. And prudence deals with being very particular, being very calculated in your approach to something. And with the moon being opposed, um, Neptune and Saturn in the first deacon of Pisces, which is the Eight of Cups. Um, Saturn and Neptune together conjunct speaks to the discipline that's needed in our spiritual development. And the moon oppose all of that gives us a place to do work emotionally so that you can show up to your spiritual practices. And what I mean by that is you're going to have to develop some type of approach towards it. So it can be like your code for life, you know what I mean? Like your why, almost like coming up with why you're doing it, because spirituality, we can talk about spirituality till we blue in the face, but until you really have a why as to why you're doing this, it really won't make sense. Um, but just the moon as it is in Virgo, what I have in my notes is the first part of the 7-day cycle is to take extra care concerning the work you have completed, aligning with your soul. The past new moon in Leo theme is purification. As the moon starts in Virgo, it's imperative to be solution based when it comes to new moon intentions. So whatever intention you made, think in terms of solution. Don't think in terms of what can go wrong or how you can, half-ass it, and just to say you did the shit. The conjunction with Mars that's coming up, which will be tomorrow, speaks to the blessings that we receive from sexual discipline and sexual alchemy. I think it's really important leaving the new moon in Leo, which is the lust card or the strength card. I think the moon conjunct Mars is kind of like amplifying that, the need for that, because it's almost like Mars in Virgo is, if I think if you haven't been doing like that real like sexual alchemy and really like cultivating that sacred energy, you're gonna be all over the place. And it's gonna be hard for you to really be comfortable with your energy, because sexual energy is your like vital life energy, is your creative energy. And Virgo really wants to put it to use. Virgo really ain't about like, look at my body. You know what I mean? Virgo is more so, I got this whole thought out plan that I can work through. It's putting it to use. It's about being constructive with your energy. I know I said a lot, but let's say y'all.
I thought I was just waiting to see if Serpent wanted to say something. Um, I was thinking as far as like just following what you were saying, um, and how I kind of look at the energy is kind of like in the same fashion as you do. The only difference I would say is just like your personal, your personal gift or service to the collective, like really focusing in on that this week and like really trying to figure out what that looks like for me personally. But my job a lot of times I feel like is to get the collective to focus in on their soul too. So like what does Virgo look like for you? Like it's so many different layers to Virgo. Like the virgin physical or like the virgin earth, fertile land for you to manifest ideas. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I was like, all right, with Mars in this particular uh constellation, like, Mars is kind of sneaky. I don't really pay much attention to it as I really should. You know what I'm saying? Because the reason that I say that is because shit, you been should have known what you should have been doing. So the confusing part of this energy is like, damn, my money is funny, my change is strange. All right, have you been putting action to your work? I'm saying, have you been putting action to your service, or have you been in fucking la la land? You know what I'm saying? For me, I've been a little bit in la la land, so it's just like getting back to my center because I'm a Virgo rising. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's the energy that I really need to like wrap my mind around. Because for
Mhm.
me, it's not easy to like take myself seriously. Like I think life is a joke. You know what I mean? Like so, it's like it's like, but Mars in this particular energy is gonna tell you life ain't a joke. This shit real. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So it's like just preparing for that though, and just kind of thinking about it like with this show or my content or my work, like the things that I'm just doing, like I'm working. You know what I'm saying? I'm locked in. You know what I'm saying? That's just where my energy is at.
Yeah, my notes have hoods subsets as keys because of your because of your chart and combining with the moon chart. The placements in the chakras and deacons unlock how the bigger transits are felt. So the moon and the Vishaka is not just Scorpio moon; it's the Archer aiming moon, setting intention and piercing illusion. The outer planets as anchors because Uranus, Neptune, Saturn, and Pluto barely move. Their subsets describe the epoch, vibe, collective as revolution, dissolution, and restructuring transformation. And the sun plus moon as catalysts, they move fast through the subsets and they show the activation point in the middle as the bigger epochal picture. Family, what we are looking at here is the scaffolding of a new age. Uranus in Aries is breaking us free. Neptune in Pisces is dissolving illusions. Saturn in Aquarius is crystallizing new collective contracts. Pluto in Capricorn is burning down false power. But here's the catch: the moon in Scorpio, first degrees, Vishaktra. Nakshatra is the match. It's the emotional spark and the lights up the whole system. It lights up the whole system. The sun squaring Uranus adds the pressure. Will you resist freedom or awaken into it?
Monday and Tuesday is the Virgo energy, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday will be in Libra, and then this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, it will be in Scorpio. And so underneath the list, um, I'm writing out the major arcana cards: Hermit, Justice, Death, which is Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, and then I have a meaning for each one of them. Hermit is kind of like what you reap. Um, Yod, which is the seed. It is a sense of a new beginning, or it can be like the end of a cycle for you. It could be um, what 9 and 10 of Pentacles is, gain and wealth. Um, so if y'all been like paying attention since like the last week in July, we've been talking about like becoming a new person and the work that needs to be done to become a new person. And I really like filled out this chart with that in mind. Um, so being that you're leaving Leo once again, and it's you cultivating your Kundalini energy, it's you cultivating spirit. Now that you're at Virgo, it's kind of like now you're reaping the benefits of it. Now you're reaping the blessings of it. Reaping the blessings of semen retention and doing a microcosmic orbit, um, and using it for spiritual purposes. Obviously, doing readings for people, shit. And sometimes spirit would just show you what your gifts are. I've had a couple of dreams in the past 21 days where it was stuff that was happening, and then people like, yo, man, I just got a new job, or I just lost my job, or um, I just found a bunch of money, or this company was overcharging me and they just sent me a check for like $500, just like random stuff. But not to go on too much of a tangent, um, in the light of becoming a new person, as we move into Libra, um, I think is very straightforward. Situations will pop up that reflects what needs your attention the most. Here it's about treating yourself how you wish to be treated. A new take on the golden rule, but the conjunction with Lilith, um, in the deacon that represents truth, which is the third of swords, or I'm sorry, the fourth of swords. This represents like a conjunction with your shadow, or a merger or a corporation with your shadow. Because Lilith represents like a deeper, it's I would say, and I want to know y'all opinion. To me, Lilith represents like your shadow self in a way, but your shadow, the part of your shadow that has utility. You get what I'm saying? Like it's your shadow self, but it's also the creativity that you have, and it kind of deals with parts, because it's the shadow parts that you don't accept about yourself. And it's like if you only understood this about yourself, it will put you that much further. Because I think with Lilith, the things that you don't accept is what you project.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's a positive thing, like, oh, you're so smart, you're so pretty. Oh, you're probably a pretty person. You're probably a smart person. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But you don't accept it about yourself. Um, but yeah, what would y'all say about
Mm-hmm.
Lilith energy?
Back in the days, it used to be this website, and it was basically like Lilith through the houses, and I would be like doing a lot of readings. I would always refer to this site, and it used to always be the thing that I would just kind of like lock in on with people, and I would identify Lilith as your psychic ability, right? Like specifically. But it goes back into what you say in your shadow side that have a purpose, which for most people, and when you think about Lilith, she was Adam's first wife, right? And Adam is supposed to be like the Adam or the physical body or whatever the case may be, cool. But Lilith being the first wife that got kicked out and then was like this prostitute and this evil thing, that to me is like people's psychic abilities specifically.
Yeah, she for me, she represents that feeling one gets when you have to accomplish a particular thing, but when you have to do it through anger. So it's almost like you know you have to do something, and you wait to the last minute so you have to do it. And then ultimately, when you get to a point where you can't wait anymore, you know you have to do it. You go ahead and do that shit, but you do that shit angry. But even when you're doing it angry, you still have the wherewithal to execute exactly the way that you need to execute. And it only comes out when it's forced out. It doesn't necessarily come out because you decided to let it out. And that's my description of Lilith. Like when she gets on her shit, it's almost like, yeah, nobody can tell her anything, but she's still gonna get the job done.
And now that the panel has answered that question, chat, comments, what does Lilith represent to y'all? Right? We want to know, what I'm saying? We is the thing about this podcast is that we're not here for ourselves. We're here for you. So if you happen to listen, you definitely should be listening with a voice, not listening passively. So let your voice be heard. What does Lilith mean to y'all? We could bring some of those thoughts onto the screen, and also refer to the poll question of the week. Which energy is y'all feeling the most? Purification, discipline, reflection, or rebirth? And we will speak to this at the end of the broadcast. Thank y'all for watching. Make sure you like the video, get active in the chat. We really appreciate it. And once again, like the video, like the video, like the video. It helps us out the most and it gets us to, you know, different parts of YouTube so we can get more watchers and more viewers and things of this nature. I'm about to pull up a question, Jabri, and what is your thoughts on it?
Okay.
Elite, Elite Ramsey, or Elite, yeah, I think it's Ramsey, King Ramsey. Lilith has been conjunct my natal Lilith in Libra from some time.
Hmm.
What would you give? What would you say to that, brother?
Hmm. First of all, that's that's very powerful. Um, I would ask if you know the house that is in, please put that in the chat too. The first thing that comes to mind is you got to begin to really make it a practice to take a serious um, evaluation of yourself, uh, with your mind state and how you think about yourself, because Libra deals with the scales, which is weighing, which is measuring. So you have to really measure and evaluate yourself as a being. And I would even say, depending on the house, for me, I have Libra in the first house. So for me, it'll be me really evaluating my self-esteem, you know what I mean? How I'm seen in the world, like these first house themes. Um, Actually, I want to read straight from it. And also just want to plug Moon Day. All this information that we're talking about, you can use this workbook, and you can everything that we're talking about is referenced in this workbook. But for me, Libra is in the first house, so it deals with like self appearance, beginnings, the body, first impression, attitude, identity, approach to life. Um, so it's me measuring where I'm at there, because you probably have a lot of projection, a lot of self repressed feelings in that, whatever house that's in. Um, so that's what I would say. Like, take it very seriously when it comes to seeing yourself, and accepting yourself. Because all the things that you don't accept about yourself, you will project on other people. And you will project on the closest person to you, which might be that partner that you have. Because relationships isn't about the type of person they are more than it is about how deeply can you accept yourself and love yourself. And that's where that measurement comes in with Libra. Like, the measure of your heart with accepting yourself is equal to what you can accept in another person. Because what you can't accept in yourself, you're gonna see it in other people. And it's not gonna be the best experience.
You was gonna say something, Server? It's muted.
No, I wasn't gonna say that.
Okay. Um, Having a hard time loading up the chart, so I guess we will move on and see what the chat is saying. Part of oneself that is not integrated will show itself in the work ways, cusp of the fifth and sixth. So your relationship to your creativity, your relationship with your service tends to go hand in hand. So this type of person could imagine themselves for a long time to not be talented or to not have much to offer. But the reality is you have an abundance, infinite principle to offer, and your creativity and your ability to serve and your relationships to that, not personal relationship to other people, but your relationship to your soul, to your kundalini, right? To your inner goddess, your divine feminine principle, like your unconditional love, your infinite ways of being coming to the surface. You really tuned in and tapped into that? Or are you doubting yourself or holding yourself back? With a name like King Ramsey, one would imagine you've done an abundance amount of shadow work to come to the realization that, oh shit, I am a king. But, Lilith conjuncting your native Lilith, maybe some of those old wounds have come to surface. And now you gotta, the work is never done. Even a king have to do some alchemy, right? Or some shadow work. So yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like old old shadow wounds will resurface in order for you to recalibrate past them. So some of them might resurface just to reassert exactly what it is that you think you've learned from them. And it's imperative that you actually do it as opposed to just knowing that you have to do it.
Shay, man. Peace to the squad. And like I said, man, bring those questions to the chart or to the chat rather, Mr. R. But anyways, man, so let's move the conversation along. Why don't we? You know, uh we didn't really get to touch on the moon transiting Scorpio at the end of the week. What is your thoughts and what is your take on how people can prepare? Because it goes back into what you were saying about us becoming new people and the culmination of that could literally take place this weekend.
And I'm glad you said that because Friday is the day that the moon is conjunct Libra, or the moon is in Libra conjunct Lilith. And I really feel like, this is the end of the month, so everybody's getting paid because the weekend is the 30th and 31st. So just stay in the house. That's not the weekend to go out. Because Saturday it will be the Five of Cups, which is disappointment. That's you outside all night eating the wrong stuff, drinking the wrong stuff, and now you up Saturday morning. You lost half of your day, and now you scurrying around, and before you know it, you getting ready for work Sunday night. I think with what we already said about Lilith, is this night is for like to celebrate yourself and to really sit down and really journal about something that you never journal about yourself. Like learn something new about yourself Friday night. Um, because I'm telling you, it's Saturday morning. If you did not tend to yourself, you're not gonna be happy. I doubt you're going to be happy with like just how the energy is going to be. The Five of Cups is disappointment. And then Sunday is the Six of Cups, which is pleasure. So you might do the most Friday, 'cause I know you're getting paid, and then Saturday you're going to be disappointed, and then Sunday is Six of Cups, so it's going to be pleasure. So you want to do more bullshit to make yourself feel better about the bullshit you already did. Whereas you can do some shadow work Friday. You may have some disappointment Saturday morning, but it'll be a little bit more sobering. You know what I mean? Because you are going to be disappointed in yourself at some point when you journaling. Like, damn, bro, I ain't shit. But that's a
Mhm.
part of like the acceptance. You know what I mean? Because if you can accept your bullshit, like your real deal bullshit, we don't have to go down the list of the bullshit that we done did or baggage we carry. If you can accept that disappointment, it is what it is. Disappointment is not negative. There's a purpose in disappointment. I think, but with accepting that, you will find pleasure Sunday. So it can go one of those two ways, I think. Um, and that's going to be that transformation. Are you going to continue to do? Are you going to continue to avoid yourself, with things that bring you pleasure and make you comfortable, or are you going to embrace the disappointment that life ain't what you've been faking it out to be? And just in taking the initiative with yourself.
Seem like patience is the virtue this weekend. Like really taking your time, letting the
Mhm.
energy kind of speak to you rather than trying to force the issue.
Yeah, yeah. You muted.
The first thing I thought was, what if a nigga get paid on Thursday?
Ah,
What if that direct deposit come through a couple of
yeah.
days earlier, right? Like, and then I'm like,
Do that
well,
shit
I got
Wednesday evening.
yeah. Then I'm like, well, I got Saturday off, and since my nigga just told me I'm gonna be disappointed Saturday, I might just decide to work Saturday. You know what I'm saying? But Saturday's gonna be my third day off. My it's gonna be some add to my 3 day weekend, so I'm probably not gonna get that shit back. But I like how you said how deal with the disappointment. You might be able to deal with the disappointment early in the morning and then be moving into the next phase by the afternoon, evening time. Um, yeah, I think this is definitely not the week to be on your vices and on your bullshit at the end of the week, at the end of the work week, right? Like this is the week to start anew, start something fresh, start something brand new. Don't do anything that you would normally do. In other words, unless you want the same results, right? And then on top of that, the same results are also going to come with disappointment. Like my brother said, like you're going to be disappointed because you're not going to look up and see yourself where you want to necessarily be. So knowing that, the last thing you should want to do is spend your weekend doing the same shit that you always do.
Yeah. And I like how you said tending to your vices on the weekend, because usually that's always been the most difficult time. You know what I mean? It's like I'm in the matrix and I've been working these past 5 days. What do I do with my life? You know what I mean? Fuck with the hoes. Let's get some bottles. Fuck it. But no, don't do that.
So I want y'all to like hear me out real quick. So this morning I did an article on or a video and an article rather on Sun Square Uranus, right? And then at the end, something told me to like just put a little bullet point on what to expect, right? And so what I have on here is government shift scandals, sudden leadership, financial shakeups in banks. Now this one is crazy. Stock market spikes or sudden drops. Now, as we was talking 37 minutes ago, the US dollar has plummeted.
Whoa. Whoa.
Hold up, my nigga. That's all blank field right there. Wait a minute.
The
The
white
bottom fell
line.
out.
The
Yeah.
bottom fell out because Trump fired the Federal Reserve governor. Nigga,
He
and I
fired the
just
Federal Reserve.
nigga, in all of the videos we've been talking about this weekend with the money and how it's not real. And then the government shift and scandal, sudden leadership change, nigga.
Wow.
Come
Wow.
on, bro. And niggas
Wow.
say astrology ain't real.
My nigga, that
Wow.
was the butterfly effect, my nigga. Like we spoke that, you spoke that shit into existence, nigga.
Like that shit, I'm sitting here like, yo, what the fuck is really like I kinda like when you think but you don't know, like I kind of feel like, it's a lot of shit going on.
So
Like
you half-ass wanted to say I told you so, but you didn't tell
kinda,
it,
but
but you didn't
yeah,
tell enough niggas to like be able to say it like type shit.
this shit is like, but I mean, it could be like I'm like into government and shit like that, but I'm not though. You know what I'm saying? I ain't into it, so I don't know. But it's just like, man, this system, I don't know what the future holds with it, bro.
I ain't
What do
never heard of
y'all
a
what do
sitting
y'all
president
think?
firing the Federal Reserve, nigga. I have never heard of that. Have you ever heard of the sitting president firing the Federal Reserve? Like, what? What? Where are we at? Are we in the Twilight Zone?
After we already $37 trillion in debt, and then
How do you fire the Federal Reserve?
I'm like checking multiple sources. This shit true, dog.
Mm.
Hold on, I gotta pull up Coinbase real quick. Hold up.
I wonder what the stock market gonna look like tomorrow morning.
Exactly.
Yeah, because all the bread move overnight, my nigga. I wonder what that shit gonna look like in the morning.
The United States Federal Reserve System, and I swear to God, bro, niggas be like, "Oh, hood, why that shit not spiritual?" Bro, I'm literally niggas talking about fucking central banking. Like, nigga, what you talking about? That's not spiritual. Where nobody else talk. Niggas was doing they same old humdrum, rumpa pum pum spiritual dance on you niggas. Old same old song and dance. I'm like,
this
yo,
is
nigga.
this is application.
Exactly, bro. Like
This
this
is
shit
application.
matters. Like literally. like showing niggas, and then you like literally check the news, and this nigga Trump is writing a letter to the Federal Reserve. Like I was just reading Hood Mystic article, and this shit not this shit not the fan, bitch. You gotta go. I'm just
That
flabbergasted.
nigga like the cat is out the bag. They know about us. There is no
Like,
hiding. You niggas is fired. You're fired.
like what? But imagine all of our ancestors, our grandmas, our uncles, and our aunts, and our moms, and our dads, and our cousins, none the wiser. They like get a job. But the whole time it's a fucking scam.
The whole time you've been working a Ponzi scheme your whole life.
Like, no, figure out how you going to get some money. Don't get a job. Figure out how you going to get some money. Because what you going to work for? For pats on the back, nigga? You going to work for insurance? That's what we doing? Like, nah, you working for that goddamn paper. Oh, she was a black lady, y'all. The pot stirs a little deeper.
Jasmine Crockett.
What?
Nah, they
Lisa D.
fired
Cook.
her.
Oh
Lisa,
yeah,
Lisa got cooked.
but
What are you talking
black women is down bad this year, bro.
about? Dog, what is going on?
Man, I would have thought the governor would have been some Albert Pike looking motherfucker.
Facts. Like, what is going on? You know,
Nah, they
Trump,
can't
Trump.
look. They can't look like they did back in the days no more.
Nah, not now that Trump around, nigga. They better. That's what they gonna look like. They back to Albert Pike. Like this is too much seasoning in the chicken. You know they like they chicken pale, no seasoning, boiled chicken.
Raisins in a potato salad.
You already know. President Donald Trump fired Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook late Monday. A surprise move. It wasn't a surprise move to niggas who joined the Substack, though, for free. So we already knew. We talked about it this morning. Anyways, a surprise move constituting a sharp escalation in his battle to exert greater control over what long has been considered an institution independent from day to day politics. What is going on? What is Trump trying to do with the Federal Reserve Bank? He trying to take over it, but for what though?
hmm Well, I mean, we know that's where the money is printed.
Yeah, yeah.
Could this be part of his ploy to keep the presidency from ever being up again?
I
It
think
could
it's a way for it to put himself
as a
to
dictator.
like, yeah, like to put himself into federal government to where like I don't need to be the president anymore.
Mm.
You know,
He
like
got all of his
he
people in here.
yeah, this is a stepping stone for him. Whereas, oh, you did 4 years. Oh, we really like you 4 more, and you're great. He's on GQ and doing all these interviews with Tom Brady and shit. No, he's looking for the next federal position to have in the corporation United States. It's like akin to being director of operations of some type of company and trying to find out how you can be the CFO.
Mhm. Niggas already told you what he was the last president. This shit is over, man. It's
Wow.
all instituting and moving into a circular thought. Well, I don't know if this book was put out. I think it could have been all internet shit, but I don't know. It's intriguing nonetheless, right? Where this dude wrote this trilogy on Donald Trump and Barron Trump, and at the end of the trilogy, it's called The Last President. And I don't think that this shit is like like fake. I think this shit is real because when you look at patriarchy and the white man ruling this country, this is this is this is their last hoorah. Cause it might not be niggas taking over, but them damn Muslims, them damn Muslims, boy, they coming.
And he ain't
Them
talking about
motherfuckers, them motherfuckers is relentless.
Farrakhan. He ain't talking about Farrakhan.
I ain't
Yeah,
talking about
those are
Farrakhan.
not Muslims. Those are bow tie Scientologists.
Yeah, I'm
Ah,
talking about the Sunni Shiite devout know the Quran by heart ass niggas that will got an AK-47, got all of they willing to die for whatever they believe in, all of them, and they are institutional. They don't
yeah.
fuck around, they don't play, they got their paperwork straight, and they
Um,
already took over Europe, nigga.
yeah, they're the only people on the face of the earth that have had more slaves than white people.
Um, and to this point, you, for people that didn't pay attention in histories, since the first George W. Bush, you're going to see why the United States has been in a war in the Middle East my whole fucking life. I'm 33. It's been
Mm-hmm.
happening my whole fucking life
Mm-hmm.
because they have infinite commodity. They don't have paper money. They have infinite wealth. It's immeasurable
Yeah,
how much money
them.
they have
I
when it
think
comes
them
to
in
the oil
Africa.
and the
They said them in
resources.
Africa can barter for forever. Like they can barter
Yeah,
for forever, bro.
yeah.
Yeah, man, it's a dirty, dirty game. You know what I'm saying? But the time is now to like figure out your money. Because it's like you in this world, you in this earth, and you could play the emotional game, but that time is over with. Slowly but surely, 2020 capping, you know what I'm saying? Old ladies dying in hospitals, can't even see their family. Like, yeah, we don't give a fuck. Like, y'all don't give a fuck. Nope, we don't give a fuck no more. Oh, and then like, oh, y'all can come back together. And niggas was like, oh, we could come back together. Like, we asking now. Like, is it okay for us to this shit over with? You know what I'm saying? Like, if they did this shit in 2020, this psychological experiment, and now the president that was during that whole shit was niggas don't remember it was Donald Trump. That's when shit got scary. That's when shit was like, oh, my psychic antennas is going up because you gonna have to move accordingly or you not even gonna survive. Lo and behold, niggas was dying in 2020. Like more
Hmm.
people died in 2020, 2021 than ever. You know what I'm saying? And not just from COVID. Just it just was a crazy ass time. So it's just like we got PTSD for real. And with all of that being said, it's like, all right, how do we get on like our good foot? Because they really is attacking people. And if you vulnerable, bro, ain't no saving you. Ain't no affirmations, ain't no meditation. It's like they will swallow you whole. So you gotta be on point out here. Like we was talking in the pregame, your Second Amendment. Like you gotta practice that shit. You can't be so spiritual to be like, oh no, peace and love, brother. Cause that's what get niggas fucked up out here in these streets.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Not only that, but that fake collective morality shit. Like you're gonna see how much that shit don't work when everybody's trying to follow the same moral standard, and you sitting there looking at all of those people being broke and destitute and trying to find their necks, and the ones that got it are the ones that don't give a fuck about morals. Y'all gonna have to start stepping y'all fucking game up. This shit ain't about sympathy. This shit ain't about deservedness. This shit ain't about none of that. This shit is about each one get one. You know what I'm saying? Like if you can't get yours, then You know what I'm saying? No, there's no help that's going to come and give it to you. There's nobody that's going to give you shit because you down and out. Nobody's gonna feel sorry about you and come and get you, bro. Like those days are over.
That
You're not
shit
gonna
is
be able to
over
hang
with.
on, you're not gonna be able to hang on people's emotional fucking dysregulation and get your way now. Like there's no manipulation through emotions anymore. That's gonna work. It's either you have it or you don't, or you got a way to get it. If you ain't got a way to get it, then you need to get with the people that do.
Yeah. I feel like it's a time to really be disciplined with everything, like in every sector in life, and like learning those survival skills, like learning how to take care of a firearm, how to shoot a firearm. Um, just what they don't talk about enough is that it's more citizens with firearms than it is military personnel in the United States. Now, uh, they done dropped the bomb on Nagasaki in Hiroshima, and they don't talk about that enough. Like United States has really crossed that line. They dropped two bombs on Japan,
There's a
but
reason why they could never take niggas' guns, bro. Because niggas got more guns than they do.
yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Um, But yeah, I agree with y'all, man. It's really not a time to be playing. It's not a time for pageantry. You know what I mean? And fighting with the opposite sex over dumbass shit. Like it's really a time to get together and build something and to find a way to have some type of longevity. You know, but I feel like it's also kind of like just that cyclical thing. You know what I mean? The birth and the death and rebirth, you know, and just like from a sociological standpoint.
Yeah, we need a do over, and it's going to be, you can't save everybody, and it ain't going to be your personal thing that you might need or whatever the case may be. But like, it's been hell. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not doing the worst, but it just like I can just empathize with how hard it's been for people. Like, people need a start over, and that could be a rebirth. It could be a personality change. It could be a lump sum of money. It could be a lot of. It could be a voucher to
A
go to
reset,
school.
or a rebirth.
I mean, one would say both, because you get a factory reset. You got a brand new program. It's this is you ain't you still 58. You know what I'm saying? But
Mm.
your mentality and your energy is like a baby.
Why you just gave me 12 years? I'm just trying to figure that out. Like,
I ain't talking. I'm just being general to
okay,
just
okay.
anybody in the.
I thought you was being facetious, but okay.
Nah, just in general. Like, whatever age you is, you can experience a rebirth, right? And it is a factory reset. Like, that's what
That's what
when we
Kundalini is.
I mean, birth, when you born, you literally having a factory reset. Like, you don't even know you've been through all of this shit before, right? Where you got to log back in a fucking Gmail. You know how many times I just had to log back into Gmail? You know how many times I logged into Gmail on this fucking computer? It's like, enter your password. Like, come on, man, you know what it is. But like,
Mm.
when we born again as a baby, we don't even remember. You done had pussy before, had steak before. You be acting like these is new things. Like,
Yeah,
oh, this is the
yeah,
first time I ever had steak. No, nigga, you done had steak before. It's in a different life. But that factory reset, but we should be able to do that
On our
now.
own. On our
Right,
own.
right.
yeah, yeah.
And I think that's the difference between what that made me think about is one of those things that you always say, which is either you make the decision or the decision gonna be made for you, type shit. You know, because
Yeah.
if the system resets you, then you end up wherever the fuck you end up at. But if you reset yourself before the system can set the reset up, then yeah, then you get to pick where you go, type shit.
So another computer analogy is restore backups, right? So if it's a point in my computer where I'm like, this how I want my shit to run, I can do a restore backup. And so instead of doing a full factory reset, I can just do a restore backup. And therefore, it's not going to delete anything beyond that point where I restored the backup at. But it's going to, because so all this new shit, reels and TikToks and all this weird shit that I've developed over this past 5 years, oh yeah, delete that. You know what I mean? Get back to my core. You know what I'm saying? Get back to
Hmm.
talking to niggas for 5 hours, whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying? But just like lock in. Don't even think about catching up with trends. But that's just an
Delete all
example.
algorithms. Yeah, delete all
Yeah,
algorithms.
fuck that shit. It's too much shit on here. You know how many pieces of content getting produced today?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
No, guess how much content is being produced a day?
It
Guess
got to
the
be in the
number.
millions. It got to be in the
Nope.
Millions, yeah.
millions.
Nope, not in the
Trillions.
millions.
Billion,
That's too much.
billion.
4.7 billion pieces of content every single day throughout the whole entire world.
There's not enough people to watch all that content, bro.
Everybody got a phone.
It's not enough people
Everybody
to
got
watch
an
all that.
Instagram. Everybody got a TikTok. Everybody's posting. So what? Who are you? What are you
Hmm.
trying to do? You really got to answer that questions like for real and stop like. That's why like I just been kind of thinking like it don't matter. I haven't really changed, but I'm just gonna be more intentional. And I'm really like trying to figure shit out too. Like, how is he doing this? I want to do that too. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me experiment and do shit outside of my comfort zone because it's like, damn, 4.7 billion people, bro. I shouldn't even give a fuck, really. I should be on this bitch butt ass naked. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. But you get what I'm saying? Like, you shouldn't have no fear of what people are thinking because ain't nobody looking at you no fucking way. You know what I'm saying? And
That's a
if
Hmm.
fact.
people do care about you, at least you making some damn money, right? But generally, man, it's a goddamn struggle to get noticed, to get seen. You feel me?
Yeah.
This shit not easy.
Yeah. I
It's
like
not
how you
easy, and it's not for the
said,
faint of heart neither.
What you say? Uh, What y'all say?
you say servant.
No, I was saying it's not easy, and it's not for the faint of heart either.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. I like how you said that not the factory reset, but what was the second term? To
Restore back up.
restore. Yeah, to restore it back up. For me,
Mm-hmm.
that's always been like preserving the things that brought me like genuine like happiness as a kid. You know what I mean? And for me, it was like science experiments, jazz music, and animation. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's and for me, it just like kind of progressed to like me loving chemistry and science to pursuing a degree in chemical engineering or graduating with a bachelor's in chemical engineering, but then also played the saxophone, you know, and I still watch cartoons. You know, it kind of
That's a fact.
it keep me
Mm-hmm.
somewhere mentally. And even one day my girl had told me like I you really got like a childlike wonder to you. And that's really nice to see on a person, you know, because I don't I push my personal boundaries, but like I don't do extra shit to make me happy. You know what I mean? I know what makes me happy because I think you can. burn out. You know what I mean? And I think it can
Mhm.
lead to addictive behavior if you don't reset and reboot, because you're going to, it's kind of like in terms of going within or going without, going into the illusion further. Because if you
Mhm.
don't reboot, shit, you're going to turn into a computer. No, you're
I mean, for
going to be
real,
an AI. You're going to be a cloud somewhere.
NPC,
Yeah.
NPC out here. Like, I mean, it's like this life. Like I was like even in a study, like learning about entropy, how we have a natural tendency to drift. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So it's like
Hmm.
you need to do that spring cleaning. You need to like
Hmm.
do your work to say, man, have I connected to source or have I been concerned about how I'm gonna pay the bills? Where the next place I'm gonna travel to? What's the next girl I'm gonna talk to? All this particular thing. Like I seen this video with Tyrese where he was talking about like in reference to lust. I'm gonna try to find it, but yeah, it's just like man, just
What
just just being in the presence of life. I've been like really shifting into like coming into a new person under the concept of just because I was stressed out for a long time, and then I just started like having talk to myself to just be happy that I'm alive. Even when I get stressed out, when I feel like I can't figure it out, all right, you alive. Like don't get caught up. And then, slowly but surely those answers come to you. But I'm gonna look for that video. You was about to say something.
um with entropy, it's kind of like the measure of like disorder over time. So it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of like, in terms of the universe, you got like all these galaxies, star clusters, black holes, and stuff like that. And they're going through their life cycle. And it's kind of like that death and rebirth happening. But the thing that kind of balances entropy is like the expansion of the universe. So as the universe becomes more and more disordered, the universe is expanding, and so uh you end up with more things that don't exist. If that makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like when the universe is small, like yesterday, when the universe wasn't as big as it is today, because theoretically it's continuously expanding, there
Mm-hmm.
was less things that didn't exist. Because the
Mm-hmm.
universe has only a certain capacity of
Mm-hmm.
existence. And I mean, it's kind of making me think of the law of mentalism. And you
Like
can't fathom outside of it because you didn't create it. We're talking about just creation at this point.
and it makes me think about when motherfuckers was like, "Oh yeah, we having a funeral on Zoom." I said, "What? what did you doing?" Right? We
Bruh,
in the
man.
whole we not it's not the same. For one, Zoom didn't exist in the 90s, right? Or the 80s or the 70s, but it exists now. And how we gonna utilize this tech? We're gonna throw fucking funerals and weddings via Zoom. And I'm like, okay. But the whole family up in there on Zoom talking shit on Zoom. And I'm like, wait, this is like an expansion, right? This is a point of no return, right? And it's like it just makes me think about that. You know what I'm saying? Like the world is going to like, and the reason why I say that is because like it's a level of desensitization to death that I didn't even think we was capable of as humans. Remember back in the day, somebody died, motherfuckers be crying, breaking down. Niggas will like, oh, such and such died, and then right back into their regular conversation. I'm like, wait a second, we ain't remember a moment of silence. You ever heard a nigga
Yeah,
say that recently?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, it's just a different world, bro, and it goes into entropy, right? Sex, how like remember the first time? you knew like when a girl liked you, she was fucking. But you remember like when girls liked you and they wasn't fucking, but like 2016, they just came, they had a group meeting. It was like, all right, girls, this is our new package, right? When we like it, nigga, we just gonna throw him the pussy. Like on three, throw him the pussy. 1, 2, 3. Throw him the pussy. Like,
Yeah, it's,
Yeah, it was like it
it's
was a collective meeting, and bitches was like, "Yeah, listen, we gonna start from pussy, all right? Like everything else come after that. Let's just start from the pussy. Let's just get that out of the
let's get
way."
it like, girl. Let's see if his cock is large or not. Like,
Yeah,
first off,
yeah.
because I'm not going to invest my energy in somebody that I'm not sexually compatible with. Like,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
niggas was like, all right, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Pussy on the first night, then.
Two things. One thing that I
Yo.
picked up on from listening to y'all talk was it's almost as if, well, this is exactly what I think it is. Desensitization leads to entropy,
Hmm.
and
leads to disorder.
it's almost as if our people have been so desensitized that they don't even realize they're desensitized now. So now that mental faculty that you used to have, that used to pop whenever shit went off or went on, like that shit no longer even flickers, right? So now it's just like a normal thing when you turn your shit on and somebody is being ratchet on TV or somebody being killed on live cam. Like you're used to that now, right? So now you no longer have the intent behind critical thought as to why you're being shown a particular thing. Because of the desensitization, you just accept it, like willingly accept it. And that's scary, bro. Because that also goes into places like awareness and protection, right? Because now if you see such and such being disrespected in the middle of the street, you're so desensitized that you just think it's normal and you just keep going, right? Or you just think,
It's,
oh, that's their problem.
it's just content. It's just content.
Yeah, it's just content type shit. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you see somebody with a camera phone, you like, oh, that's just content. Like
Hmm.
somebody could literally be dying right in front of you, and you like, yeah, that's content. That's
Yeah,
crazy, bro.
it's kind of crazy because I seen this video and it was funny to me, but it's kind of like what the fuck. It was a Caucasian man in a suit downtown in a major city messing with a black man that was obviously he was poor because he had a big trash bag full of stuff. And that man, the man that had the trash bag, had a wine bottle, hit the dude in the head with the bottle, broke the bottle on his head. And people were just walking down the street, just nobody stopped, like, whoa. The only person that really stopped and was just saying, oh my goodness, was the person recording it. But everybody was just walking. They just, one person harassing another person, and then the person that was getting harassed just hit the dude in the head with a bottle, broke the bottle on his head. And
People completely desensitized. Like nobody even cares. Like they really NPCs for real. Like they'll walk right past you. So it's
yeah,
like
and
you
that's
better
and
not
they'll
need
walk
nothing.
around you. Yeah. I was just I couldn't believe it because I set like a time limit on Instagram, and then I don't use TikTok. I have a TikTok, but I don't really use it. I don't use Twitter, don't use Facebook. But it's for me. I think you got to know yourself as well. Like I
Mhm,
know that I can get on there and just 2 hours gone. You
mhm.
know, but I think it comes down to like understanding your own personal psychology and what you're using it for. Because if you're using it, you know, for branding and stuff like that, marketing, it's powerful. You know, because
Mhm.
people going to see it. You know what I mean? Um, People are going to see it. Uh, it's crazy like where we at, like as far as like being desensitized to everything.
Yeah, man. I think this video here speaks to desensitization and lust as like I'm gonna just play it and just think about what we're talking about in reference to desensitization and how it really doesn't really serve us in the long run, just doing random shit.
No volume.
All right, I'll fix it. Give me a second. I will fix it.
Whenever I see Tyrese, I can't help but think of Baby Boy. Like he forever Jody.
I think of what more do you want from me? Looking ass
Man,
boy.
he auditioned to be a slave in Django, and the videos of his audition is online, and it's so bad.
The only thing I think of is a big ass milk dud.
So my body count is a little scary. Um,
Can you hear it?
you know,
Yep.
serious. I am. I would be considered a pussologist. I'm just playing. So no. So going back to my specific career, everywhere I go, every audience I perform in front of, every club I host, I pretty much never see dudes. It's all women. It's been that way from the beginning. And so I got to a point where I'm safe here, but if I felt even more safe, I would be willing to go public with what I believe my number is. But it's crazy.
But I want you
What
to feel
what
it's
what,
safe.
what I've been doing. No, I'm not gonna mention the number.
Oh no, 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 no.
But I'm saying what I believe my number is a little scary because I got to a point where a powerful man of God asked me a question, and he said, without even coming at me, he just said, "Hey Reese, let me ask you, man, how many more?"
That deep. Wow.
Right?
Yeah. What did he say?
He said, "How many more?" He did not come at me. I was not attacked. I didn't feel attacked. He didn't be like, "Come on, like how many? When you been out here doing that? I mean, come on." He said, "How many more?" So before he asked me the question, I already had it in my head that I'm doing too much, too often, too many cities, too many states, too many countries. It's too much. But then when he asked me the question, I made this connection. Okay, why? You either a sex addict and you out here just trying to put your wee wee in everything and you just losing your damn mind, or it's coming from something.
I think one of my favorite Ice Cube lines is I got lyrics to wake up spirits. And it's just like when you think of the content of his music, what you think you call him? You know what I mean? I never heard him have a song, you know what I mean, about
Nah,
because
he
all
calling
R&B
them
singers,
goddamn succubuses to the table.
yeah, that's the yeah. You're right. You're right, without even saying a bunch, you know, but like when I think of his music is very much, I mean, he said it himself, it's only women at his shows. You know what I mean? There's only women at his shows. So it's just like on some Chris Brown shit. You know what I mean? I would think Chris Brown would have the same type of experience as Tyrese. But I think their music, they're calling upon certain spirits, you know, and certain entities that are attached to Tyrese and see Tyrese as a host in order to live out their desires, you know. Um, yeah, because not all R&B have to be about sex and wanting to
Mm-mm.
be with somebody, you know what I mean? Like you can listen to people like Cleo Soul, you know what I mean, Stevie Wonder. They still got their songs, but all their stuff isn't about that, you know. Um, yeah, it's kind of like that person that do poetry, but all their poetry is about chocolate goddess. It's just like, I mean, it's one of them, two of them is good. You know what I mean? I get what you're talking about, but then it's like, damn, nigga, what, you're not gonna talk about spirituality. You're not gonna talk about, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I think it's
I,
entities chasing
I
it.
think, yeah, I think. So I this has been in my craw for a while. So it's actually part of my next article. So the root of insatiable lust. It has a psychological root, a spiritual root, an alchemical root, a practical root. Basically, projection of unmet needs. Lust often masks a deeper hunger for intimacy, recognition, and affirmation. When those needs go unmet, the psyche seeks a quick fix and physical stimulation. Shadow repression says that unacknowledged desires or wounds buried in unconscious surface as compulsions. Lust becomes insatiable when it's standing in for unresolved or unloved parts of the self. The trauma loops come from past experiences, abandonment, neglect, shame. They create an endless cycle of seeking pleasure to soothe the pain that can't be healed by sex alone. The spiritual root is misdirected kundalini. Sexual energy is a life force, so when it is not elevated, it spirals downward into a compulsion rather than rising into creativity, devotion, or vision. Idolatry and sensation, or idolatry of sensation. Lust becomes insatiable when the body's sensations are enthroned above the soul alignment. The appetite expands, but the vessel is never filled. And the separation of illusion. In many traditions, insatiable lust arises when we forget our unity with Source. Desire seeks wholeness through the other, but in distortion, it becomes endless grasping. The alchemical root is the Negrito blackening. In alchemy, lust corresponds with the Negrito stage, base material overwhelmed by chaotic appetite. Transformation only happens when the chaos is endured, reflected on, and purified. Um, Untransmuted energy without disciplined sexual fire burns outward, compulsion instead of inward. Illumination, insatiability is a sign that the fire is uncontrolled, not that the fire itself is wrong.
Mm. Yeah, lust is a motherfucker. I mean, it's the strength card or it's the lust card. It's your choice though. It's all in your perspective of it. And I think it's very easy to get dominated by lust in this world we living in today.
Like, what is you getting out of it though?
Like you
At the
muted
end of the
Serpent.
day, you
Serpent,
you
you
mean
muted.
I don't necessarily believe that you know what you're getting out of it until it's over, right? Because when the impulse takes over and you give in to said impulse, you're not thinking about the end result. You're not even thinking about what you're going to get from said result. You just want to get what you're going to get, right? And then once you get it, when that blood subsides from the lower head and goes back to where it belongs, aka um, post nut clarity, right? There's also a post act clarity. that one receives after doing something that they were pushed to doing based off of their impulses. Like when you come back from that, yeah, the ego gonna remind you that you fucked up by following your impulse, but also that's when you realize that you didn't get shit from acquiescence to said lust at that particular moment. You don't realize that shit until it's over. You're completely taken over. You're hypnotized. You probably got some demonic shit going on, and it doesn't subside until after the nut. Like it doesn't subside until after that. For the woman, I'm please tell me. I don't know what she gets out of it.
I don't
Yeah,
know, man.
I think one solution is like you have mentioned it too, Serpent. I think it's about allowing that energy to rise up your spine instead of sitting like in your loins, because that's where it starts, and I've found just from personal data, when you for a man, if you do ejaculate, it's going to make it difficult to get back on your path, because I think there's a mental component to it, that it just makes it difficult, man, to really to have sex and ejaculate and try to have a spiritual practice. They don't go hand in hand, you know what I mean? And then just for lack of better words, for everyone being hypersexual, it just doesn't work. You can transmute that energy to be creative and build a practice and things like that, and become obsessed with things of the heart chakra instead of things of the sacral. You can be obsessed about things of the throat chakra, the third eye, and things like that. Because from your sexual energy in the second chakra is sex, but your sexual energy in the heart is like um a new person that you are that you can't imagine. You know what I mean? And then the third eye is kind of like psychic abilities. You know what I mean? You are literally wielding your psychic powers for whatever purpose you want to use it for. Um, but yeah, you gotta uplift that energy, because it's not gonna. It's a dead end, man. Lust is a dead end.
See, that's the thing, though, right? The majority of melanated men that I know were raised to conquer, right? So if you come from that school of thought that the more box you got, the better the man that you are, whatever. Like if you come from that era, it's difficult to turn that around and then start talking about spirituality and what I need to do for self, so forth and so on. Like it's difficult, especially if you a nigga that got motion, especially if you a nigga that get buns frequently. You know what I'm saying? Like if
Hmm.
if if it comes easy to you, the last thing you want to do is just give it up.
Hmm. Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially if your validation also comes from there, right? For a lot of men, their validation comes from their conquering, which is why when they stop conquering, they almost cease to exist because they don't have any other way to go. So if the goal is conquering, right, and it's putting numbers on the board, it's kind of difficult to flip that on his head and be like, yeah, no, what about your soul today? Like, just don't give a fuck. Like, how much pussy
Yeah.
did I get? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel like being dominated by lust is it's like you working a job and you got a 401k, but you taking money out your 401k every month. As opposed to cultivating that energy, you letting that that 401k going to save and increase and compound interest over time.
That's like spending your paycheck and dipping into your 401k.
Yeah, yeah. And at some point, you ain't gonna have shit.
Yeah, because you get to them late 30s, them early 40s. Now that shit don't get up on command as much as it used to. And especially if you one of them niggas that don't work out and you drink liquor, smalts liquor, and fucking eat chicken all day. Like
Hmm.
it it's gonna come to a point where none of that shit works normally anyway. And you
Yeah.
never spent any time doing anything else, going into any other field, like anything else. You don't give a fuck about life once sex stops.
Hmm.
And I know so many men like that, bro. I know so many men that will be depressed until they get pussy. You know what I'm saying? Or get the pussy, be depressed, get the pussy, feel good for a little bit, and then be depressed again until they get some more pussy. Like
Mm.
one of those wash, rinse, repeat cycles.
Yeah, man, I can't play. I couldn't even play that game if I was single. I would just work out. I wouldn't even care.
You can't think from a logical standpoint that you would even be able to compete just based off the sheer numbers alone. Like, even if you could compete, that's going to be super exhausting, bro. It's going to be super exhausting. Either you're going to spend all your bread and wonder if people really like you anyway, or you just going to be wishing you had the bread so you could do what all these other niggas is doing to have it. Either way, there's nothing healthy about it.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. So, like, in the poll of the week, I asked a question. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. I had it up. Give me a second. And I would just hope like y'all could speak to this before we get up out of here. Da 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 da. Loading, loading, loading. Not for this shit.
And
Yeah.
your lust can be transmutated. Like you can transmute your lust. Like like we were talking about earlier, you don't have to let that energy go downtown. You can send it upstairs, right? You can pick up a hobby and get really fucking good at that fucking hobby, right? You can practice meditation. It only takes 21 days to start a new habit. Practice meditation for 21 days straight. Just see how good you can get, just for shits and giggles.
Hmm.
Breath
Facts.
work, tantra, and prayer, like all of these things are tools that can be used to alleviate one from succumbing to their lust at every
Hmm.
whim. Because some
Hmm.
people just can't turn that shit off. That's how strong lust is. And like I said earlier, if you've never not given into your lust, you're not going to do this at this point in your life. Like that's just not one of those things. You have to practice to get good at it.
Psalm
Just to give
51.
some solutions for the folks.
So this goes into what you were saying though. Which energy are you feeling the most this week? Purification, discipline, reflection, and rebirth. The winner of the poll, according to the votes, is discipline. So, you know what I'm saying? That's the like people having a hard time with the discipline piece. But that goes back to what I'm saying. Like we've been under attack with people not even prioritizing spiritual work, just allowing their whole shit to go awry just because, the system is what the system does. So it's like really get into this discipline piece moving into this week. You know what I'm saying? So like, what would y'all say? I mean, Jabri, he a boxer, so you know what I'm saying. You know about that discipline piece. Like, how would you help defend and like get into a disciplined space
Mhm.
and a disciplined energy, whether it comes to lust, finances, just whatever.
Um, Following a discipline means that you have a regimen. It means that you have um, things that you do to uphold that discipline and to strengthen that discipline, and things that you do not do, which um, attacks the integrity of that discipline. You know what I mean? And for boxing specifically, being lustful and giving into lust actually goes against the discipline of becoming a fighter. You get what I'm saying? Because it's like, damn, if I'm sitting here, you know, trying to be all up under my lady and stuff, I could be running up a hill right now. You know what I mean? You know, and it's a time and place for that. You know what I mean? It is a time and place for that, but like I could be running up a hill, you know what I mean? I could be jump roping for 12 minutes straight. You know, I can be using that energy for something. But overall, discipline is about having a regimen and sticking to that regimen. You know, no exceptions though. You know, no exceptions at all. Kobe Bryant birthday just passed, and he was about making a contract with self and signing that motherfucker and sticking to it. You know, with discipline, it's not like, oh, I did well for like 3 weeks. I can have a cheat day. Discipline ain't about cheat days. You know, it's about being that person when people like, dang, dude, I didn't think you was doing, taking it that serious, because usually when you start new things, people think you still gonna be that old person. You know what I mean? Still gonna, hey man, roll one up. Let's go to the casino. You know, no, nigga, I gotta go to sleep because I was just sparring for the last 6 rounds at the gym, after my workout. I ain't got time for that. I need to take a cold shower and take some magnesium. I can't, I can't go across town to get a drink and risk the hard earned money I got. So it just comes down to having that regimen and putting nothing before it, and that's how you become a new person. That's how you become sharp. That's how you um, stay grounded. At least that's how it works for me. Like being at your altar every day. Every morning, going to your altar. Maybe Sunday you don't do it, you do journaling instead. But every day you go into it, it's going to pay off. I think the discipline also is like if you can consistently do the small things correct, it's going to be paramount in the overall experience you have.
Yeah, I think best way for me to speak on discipline is to point to the fact that discipline's cousin is love. And for people like big thing that's been going on lately, a lot, often lately, is the quote unquote regression of men and the war on supposed masculinity. And the only reason I bring that up is because consistent discipline is what lends itself to confidence. So, in order for an individual to maintain and obtain a particular level of confidence, they have to be consistent in their discipline. And the fact that you are being disciplined and disciplining self also means that you love yourself, because there's no other way to show that love to self other than discipline.
I say,
I
man.
say.
So discipline is as discipline does, man. You can't be half stepping it. So if y'all want to really tap into discipline this week, man, join the Discord, man. Tell us how you've been going this week, how disciplined you've been, man. Check the link in the description. Scan the QR code, man. Man, thank y'all for watching, man. This has been a wonderful edition of the Moon Day Mystic. Make sure you go to the initiatesfortheflame.org, cop that Moon Day workbook so you can get into not just astrology as a whole, but get into your chart, how these energies speak to you, man. Uh, Once again, join the Discord, Spiritual Business Academy. We post them weekly, daily in there. So make sure you pull up, join us, grow, learn. We need your input. You know what I'm saying? We need to figure out how we can serve you, how we can help you. Do you have any goals? You trying to make your first $1,000 online, first $20,000 online, first $100,000 online? Do you want a blueprint? Do you need a website? Do you need a mastermind consultation? Fuck being stagnant in 2026. It's time to really do it. The world ain't about to end. You just need to get your money, right? So join us at the Spiritual Business Academy. All we do is talk about business all day. So if that's you or you need more friends that's talking about business, spiritual business, this is all we do every day. You know what I'm saying? So tap into the Spiritual Business Academy. Any closing words, fellas, before we get up out of here?
Yeah, I hope that the ashe is given to the ancestors, known and unknown, as well as the collective. I hope that the collective didn't take this episode as a doom and gloom spot. I know that sometimes the level of the message is that much intense that it makes for um, it creates some sort of idea that there's no end in sight. That's not what we're saying. I don't want y'all to think that that's what the initiates is about. No, we are always going to be solution based first. We are always going to present the problem or the problems that we foresee or the problems that we are witnessing and experiencing in our daily lives. And we're always going to come with solutions behind that. Nobody's trying to scare y'all. Nobody's trying to send y'all anywhere that y'all don't want to be. If anything, we need y'all to make this thing work. So, like I said, I don't want y'all to think that this was a doom and gloom episode, but again, I shaded in the ancestors, known and unknown, and thank y'all for the space. See y'all next week.
Shay, yeah, thank y'all for rocking with us this Moon Day. Yeah, I hope y'all have a wonderful 7 day cycle. And join the Discord, join the Discord, join the Discord.
Yes, sir. Peace to the tribe, peace to the collective. See y'all all on the flip side.
Peace.
You're welcome to the Moon Day Mystic Weekly podcast. This Moon Day and every Moon Day, get prepared energetically for the week with Jabri Ali, Hood Mystic, Sacred Serpent, and AD. Always remember, you're welcome.